Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Hold on. There you go. Oh, my goodness. I took a shower not even 20 minutes ago, and I don't remember taking it just because it's fritzy. It is really hot, but, you know, it is what it is. We know it gets this way, and it's only May. What are we going to do? Today is Tuesday, May 21st, actually, and it is a pleasure to see you all here at Coffee and Headlines, where we exchange stories, we make connections, we bring the best interesting news we can find from our city, state, and country, and we look at what's on your mind, and we try to incorporate that into our program in the most positive way possible. If this is If this is something that fits you, just grab a beverage and sit down because we have some news to share. And today I have a special Guadalajara-related story for some friends that may be joining me on my next trip to Guadalajara. So I have a little bit of Guadalajara history. Today I will tell you the history of the telephone company building that was moved from one place to another, literally the whole building, without stopping telephone service in the city. It is a remarkable story. I'll share it with you in a second, but first, some news to share with you. For starters, SEAPAL has once again announced water service interruptions for today. This is in Colonia El Cerro above Gringo Gulch, and this is due to a connection that is being fixed along Abasolo Street. If you don't have water and you live up there, well, your service is expected to be resumed by 8 o'clock tonight. So hang in there. And this is just so sad. There is someone in Puerto Vallarta that parked their car and then they decided, you know, I'm going to go shopping, or maybe I'm going to drive home from work. And then they went looking for their car only to find a dead ficus tree on top of it. Yes, this happened yesterday in Colonia Versalles on the intersection of Roma and Yugoslavia, where an old ficus's root system was decomposing, and the tree just decided, okay, I've had enough. And it landed on the front of this vehicle, and it was so heavy that the vehicle's rear set of wheels were raised off the ground, and some telephone cables were also damaged along the way. Talk about bad news. How unfortunate. And of course, if you live in Versalles and all of a sudden you found yourself without telephone service or internet service, maybe this had to do with this. This happened yesterday, and hopefully the proper authorities have been able to go over there and handle the situation. But I do feel for the car owner. You know, we look for shade this time of year, and the last thing you want to know is that the car that you parked, the tree that you parked under, happens to be an old tree that all of a sudden decides to quit. What a bummer. And moving on, yes, I have some curious political news from Puerto Vallarta. As you know, I've been trying to make some sense as to the different candidacies for the mayor position and other positions, because Mexico's largest voting period is coming up in less than 2 weeks. And this is what caught my attention this morning. First of all, there was this news item that Roberto Ramos Vázquez left his job as the director of DIF, the Family Institute, to join Luis Munguia's political campaign with the Partido Verde. Now, this was considered a major blow to Chuyita Lopez of the Morena party, because when she used to be director of DIF, oh my God, I sound like an old lady telling gossip. When she was director of DIF, he was her right arm when she ran the organization. So I thought to myself, you know, if someone is leaving an important job with less than 2 weeks to go for the elections and switches over to a political position with a specific party, that must mean that this political candidate or this party is doing well in the polls. And this was published this morning by Noticias PV, and I made a note to myself, well, yeah, maybe Luis Munguia is the person to vote for, and the Green Party, the Partido Verde, is the party to vote for a mayor in Puerto Vallarta. But just as I finished reading that this morning, also from Noticias PV, I read this other news item that says that Partido Verde is losing leadership in Puerto Vallarta, with over 30 party leaders that switched over to the Morena party in support of Chuyita Lopez, because they were tired of Luis Munguia's lies and broken promises. So, you know, as a person or as people that are trying to make sense of the information that is disseminated in our city as to what the different political candidates bring to the table, there's absolutely no certainty. There's absolutely no certainty, and I know that I'm going to vote, but I have no idea who I'm going to end up voting for mayor. I know who I'm definitely not going to vote for mayor, but I just hope that you are at least as interested or slightly interested in the local political scene. I tell you about this because at some point or another, you expressed curiosity to know what is going on, and as such, I deliver the goods to the best of my ability. And now, oh dear, yes, weather news. The third seasonal heat wave is on, affecting at least 12 states in the country that will be experiencing temperatures over 45 Celsius over the next few days. And while our state is not mentioned in this top tier, our state, the state of Jalisco, is among those that can expect temperatures between 40 and 45 degrees in the coming days. That's a lot of heat, if you ask me. And I read elsewhere that sadly in the states of Chiapas and Tabasco, the heat has been so extreme that at least 83 howler monkeys that inhabit the jungle in those states have been found dead or suffering extreme dehydration due to the high temperature that is being experienced in that part of the country. Hopefully, the authorities will find a way to bring help to the environmentalists that are presently trying to fight for these animals and keep them alive. And now let's go over to what is next. Let's go over to the weather. But first, my shameless plug.
Step into the enchanting world of Bossa Nova. Travel back to the late 50s and 60s when this Brazilian rhythm swept the globe, leaving an indelible mark on music history. Meet the remarkable individuals who sparked the bossa nova flame. Wonder about the girl from Ipanema? She's not just a legend, she's alive today. Discover the unsung hero who introduced this iconic song to the English-speaking world despite being undervalued. Experience bossa nova's vibrant pulse through modern-day luminaries captivating audiences globally. Join us for Blame It on the Bossa Nova, a journey through time and sound. Immerse yourself in classic tunes and explore how this rhythm shaped today's music scene. Mark your calendars for Thursday, May 23rd at 5 p.m. at the Joint Boutique Hotel. Tickets are available at the hotel reception. See you there. Oh, and thank you for watching. And more importantly, thank you for helping spread the word by sharing this video with your friends.
Yay, Bossa Nova. And this is summer weather. It's perfect to discuss the Bossa Nova. I hope you will join me at this presentation on Thursday in a couple of days at the Joint. It should be a lot of fun. And let us remind ourselves that the Joint is air conditioned. So at least we will enjoy an hour and a half of cool or cooler bliss while we enjoy cool music. Anyhow, let's take a look at the weather. Oh, yes, of course. The news yesterday was that Scarlett Johansson was not so happy because ChatGPT is using an artificially generated voice that sounds a lot like hers. So ChatGPT says this morning, trying to steal Scarlett Johansson's voice totally sounds like something I would do. Well, whatever. It is 30 degrees right now. Humidity, according to this, is only 55%, but I swear I am schwitzing like it is a lot higher than that. Our weather forecast for today says that it's going to be humid with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 31 and a low of 21. Then tomorrow, why am I not seeing tomorrow? Because I haven't pushed the right button. Tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with mostly clear skies in the afternoon, a high of 31 and a low of 22. And then Thursday, humid with clear skies throughout the day, a high of 31 and a low of 21. And that is our weather forecast for the next few days. Let's just cut to the chase. It's going to be warm and humid and hot and schwitzy. And then it will rain, hopefully, at some point in the near future. And when it rains, we hope that it will really rain. Anyhow, I have an amazing story to share with you today. If you have been in Guadalajara, you know that Juárez Avenue is the big, wide, beautiful, tree-lined avenue that is closed to traffic on Sundays, where a lot of people ride their bicycles or go jogging. And if you don't, that is one of the most important throughways in the city of Guadalajara. And if you've walked along Avenida Juárez in Guadalajara, you may have spotted this sculpture of a man pushing a building or a man leaning against a building. And there is an amazing story behind why this sculpture was erected there and what this man is actually doing. This is a sculpture of engineer Jorge Matute Remus. And if you're wondering why is he there and what was going on, well, the Avenida Juárez Avenue was not always as wide as it is. And I came upon this fascinating photograph this morning. Come on, fascinating photograph. There it is. There is Avenida Juárez, but if you look at it carefully, you can see that this building is sticking out like a sore thumb. And you're probably wondering why. Well, when Avenida Juárez was widened, and this happened in the late 1940s, this building used to be the building that was owned by Teléfonos de México, the telephone company that we now know as Telmex. which is a shortened version of Teléfonos de México. Anyhow, here is another view of Avenida Juárez that had opened, but there was this building that was sticking out. They did not want to demolish it because that's where all the telephone calls for the city were being handled through. So this engineer that I talked to you about decided, well, we are not only going to preserve the building, we are going to move it. And we are not going to interrupt telephone service while this happened. And that's exactly what happened in Guadalajara. A complicated system of rails was built on the building, under the building rather. And when it came time, the building was literally pushed. Well, not literally pushed by people, but machinery was used to move the building on its own roller skates while telephone company employees were inside, switchboard operators operating the telephone system. So no phone calls were missed, no service was interrupted, and in honor of this engineering accomplishment, Ingeniero Matute Remus got that sculpture on Guadalajara City. And that's the end of that story, which I love to share. And I share it because that building is right along the area in which we are going to be walking in July with these friends that I hope I'm able to convince to join us on this trip. What's going on in Guadalajara? There's a concert that is a surprise concert for a friend. And it's a little after my birthday, so it's a nice chance to celebrate. And with that said, let's switch over to your comments and see what is on your mind. Good afternoon and good morning to everyone. Always a pleasure to read your hellos. Purim pum pum pum. Den. Happy Tuesday, says Den. Finally getting everything taken care of since our oldest left the hospital yesterday morning. Oh, that is excellent news. I'm glad that he's doing well. Please send hellos, and we send good vibes in your general direction. More hellos, more hellos. Oh, Pat, I hear you. I'm already drenched myself. I put on this shirt right before the show, and I'm like, I feel sticky. Lars is still in Denmark. We miss you so much. Come back. Are there chocolates in Denmark? Can you throw some chocolates into your luggage? Oh, Lordy. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, the tree. That is just unfortunate. And at least one. Well, I know that more than one of you want to hear about the politics, but thank you for that, Pat. It's getting as tiring as I'm sure politics get tiring elsewhere, but soon it'll be over. It should be over in a couple of weeks. Albert has a very important question. Will the Bossa Nova make it as an online presentation? Absolutely yes. Right now I'm working on the What's So Funny, and then I'm going to work on the tango one. And I'm working on some of the recent ones that I'm turning them into on-demand presentations so that you can enjoy them at leisure. Thank you very much for asking. Stan says, is it true that foreigners should not be involved in Mexico's elections? I have heard it is against the law. I like to ask questions, but carefully. Well, you can ask as carefully or uncarefully as you want here, Stan. I'll tell you what I know. Well, first of all, if you don't have a voting card, you cannot vote in Mexico. That's very simple. To get a voting card, you have to be a Mexican citizen, maybe a Mexican resident. I'm not entirely certain. What I know that is a law, and I don't even know it clearly, thank you for this question because I'm going to research it, is that foreigners cannot participate in political protests. I don't know the specific of that law, but I will research it. And I don't know what the sanctions are if you go march. I don't think it's one of those situations in which, they're marching and I spotted a gringo. I'm going to take that gringo to deportation or something crazy like that. I don't know exactly how it goes, but I'm sure it's not like that. But thank you for the question. I will absolutely research it, and I'll get back to you on that. Oh, thank you for that. I haven't seen it, but John says Saturday Night Live skit about Scarlett Johansson was hilarious this weekend. Must watch on YouTube. I will definitely look for that. Thank you very much. Amazing feat of engineering. Yes, Stan. And I owe you an email, by the way, so we can have lunch and talk about you know what. Let's see what else. Suzanne says, what a great story. Thank you. Well, it's so easy to take for granted the sculpture when you're walking down Juárez Avenue. It's just sort of there. And I see a lot of people taking selfies with it. But it's one of those stories that I love to tell when I bring friends to Guadalajara that have never been there before. Betsy says, fabulous story. When I moved to Jalisco 20 years ago, friends told me about that. Thank you very much for that. And Pat says, non-citizens are not allowed to influence an election, but I am happy to understand what's going on. Also, you can have an opinion, but I wouldn't put a candidate sign on my house. Definitely. Mark asks, will you be doing a walking tour while in Guadalajara? I don't know. I haven't thought about it, Mark, but I can certainly do a walking tour while I'm in Guadalajara. I'd love to bring back something every time I go to share with a cluster. So whether it is show and tell photographs or a walking tour, you're always with me. You are always with me. I cannot travel anywhere without thinking about you. So consider it done. What is the possibility of a summer meet and greet between August 8 and 18? What a great question, David. The possibility is slim. As he clears his throat. Because we've already announced that we're not going to have big meet and greets during the summer. However, if you're telling me I am going to be in Puerto Vallarta between August 8 and August 18, and I would love to meet with some people, then we'll be so very happy to organize another little mini meet and greet and go to some obscure little restaurant and get together with a smaller bunch. And I am happy to do that for anyone that is coming to Puerto Vallarta at some point and would like to connect with some of the cluster. So let me write these dates down, David, and just be in touch with me directly. And if you want, we can organize something and take it from there. Hopefully, sometime in the fall, we will have a larger welcome back, bigger meet and greet. But for the time being, we're keeping things small. We are doing our very first of these smaller mini meet and greets this coming week. And I looked this morning and there's still a few spots available. We're keeping this a little bit more organized in terms of confirmations because we want to make sure that restaurants that we go to are not taken by surprise by a huge deluge of people. So that is a long and winded answer. And David says, I would love that. My friend, consider it done. It will be such a pleasure to organize something like that. And Deb says, I am here until August 15. Would love a mini meet and greet. So there you have it. Maybe we can do a mini meet and greet between August 8 and August 15. And that would allow me to make two of you very happy, and hopefully, and that would make me very happy in turn. And I think this brings us to the end of today. Yes. Boink. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being part of this community. It is a pleasure to get together with you every morning and connect with you and create connections for all of us. Today is going to be a fun day. I'm supposed to go try some burgers at Whiskey Kitchen. I'll tell you how that goes. And I hope you will stay cool, stay kind, stay connected, have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and tomorrow we have the spotlight in the afternoon as well. Take care.